Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Baltimore RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news in the world of NFL rumors and trade buzz. One of the most intriguing and potentially game-changing stories involves Myles Garrett, the dominant pass rusher from the Cleveland Browns. Now, I know what you're thinking. Garrett is a cornerstone for Cleveland, a player who's been feared across the league since he was drafted in 2017. But recent whispers suggest that the Browns might be considering a bold move, trading Garrett to the Ravens. And folks, if this trade actually happens, it could reshape the entire AFC North and have ripple effects across the entire conference. Let's start by talking about the context. The Browns are currently sitting at 4-7, and their defense has been a bit of a roller coaster this season, giving up an average of nearly 28 points per game. With the team still rebuilding after the Deshaun Watson saga and some key injuries on their defensive line, such as Taven Bryan's knee injury that's kept him out of Week 13 and Nnamdi Madubuike's season-ending neck injury, Cleveland might be looking at a reset. They're sitting on a cap space of around $22 million, which sounds like a lot until you consider the looming Chubb extension and the need to bolster their offensive line and wide receiver core. Sources indicate that Cleveland might be entertaining offers for Garrett, and the Baltimore Ravens could be front and center in those discussions. The idea? Cleveland would send Garrett, a player with 9 seasons under his belt, to Baltimore in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft. This isn't just a simple swap. It's a seismic move that could redefine the Ravens' pass rush for years to come. The Ravens, who are currently 6'5" and striving to become elite on defense, would get a player who's been a relentless force since his debut, bringing his signature explosiveness and dominance to help elevate their front seven. Now, why would Cleveland do this? Well, beyond the cap considerations and their need to rebuild, they're reportedly prioritizing acquiring more draft picks to target a QB in the upcoming draft. With Garrett's value and the opportunity to get a premium pick, Cleveland might see this as a strategic move to accelerate their rebuild, especially if they believe they can find a quarterback of the future in the draft or through other avenues. For the Ravens, this isn't just about adding another talented player. It's about elevating their entire pass rush. Garrett, drafted as an edge rusher in 2017, has been a nightmare for offensive lines across the league. Over his 9-year career, he's accumulated 106 sacks, 250 solo tackles, and over 500 pressures. His PFF grade consistently hovers around 91.5, and he has a win rate of roughly 22%. Not to mention, his ability to generate pressure and get after the quarterback is top tier, with 150 QB hits and a forced fumble rate of about 4.5%. In 2025, despite missing some time due to an ankle injury in Week 5, Garrett returned with a vengeance, leading the Browns' pressures and increasing sack efficiency significantly, averaging 1.6 sacks per game and creating a turnover differential that has kept Cleveland in games. Bringing Garrett into the Ravens' fold would be like striking gold. His presence alongside Roquan Smith could push Baltimore's sack total to new heights, potentially jumping from 35 to over 60 sacks this season. That kind of production would not only terrorize offenses, but also drastically improve their defensive efficiency, lowering points allowed from around 21.5 to a projected 17 points per game. Imagine Garrett's relentless edge rush combined with the Ravens' existing talent, like Odafe Oweh and Justin Madubuike, creating mismatches against even the best offensive lines in the league. It's the kind of move that could turn the Ravens' defense into a nightmare for opponents, especially in the playoffs. This potential trade also brings a strategic advantage in terms of game planning. Garrett's ability to win on the edge with speed and power would complement the Ravens' defensive schemes perfectly. His presence would allow the team to rotate more effectively, keep players fresh, and apply relentless pressure on quarterbacks like Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes. Plus, with Lamar Jackson's play-action game thriving, increasing YAC by about 20% and forcing defenses to respect the pass, Garrett's addition would push the Ravens' defensive metrics into elite territory. His ability to generate pressure on third downs and in clutch moments could be the final piece in Baltimore's quest for a deep playoff run. Now, it's important to consider what this means for the upcoming postseason. Right now, the Ravens are sitting comfortably in the playoff picture, but they're hungry for more. Adding Garrett would give them a clear advantage, a true game wrecker who can alter the course of a game with a single sack or pressure. Their odds of making a deep run increase significantly with a player of Garrett's caliber, especially considering his track record in high-pressure situations. If he joins the Ravens, their chances of competing for a Super Bowl skyrocket, and the AFC North would face yet another formidable opponent. Looking at the bigger picture, the AFC is already stacked with talented quarterbacks and explosive offenses. The Ravens need to bolster their pass rush to keep pace with teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, and Cincinnati Bengals. Garrett's addition could be the X factor that propels Baltimore into the upper echelon of NFL defenses. The franchise has been building a strong foundation with Lamar Jackson leading the offense, but to truly contend, they need to dominate on defense, and Garrett could be the catalyst for that. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical, thinking about Cleveland's reluctance to trade a player of Garrett's caliber. But let's remember, NFL trades are often driven by cap considerations, team rebuild strategies, and draft capital needs. Cleveland is at a crossroads, and if they believe that Garrett's value in a trade outweighs his impact on their team's short-term success, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Plus, with Cleveland prioritizing draft picks and possibly eyeing a quarterback, this could be a win-win scenario for both sides. In terms of odds, if this trade goes through, the Ravens' Super Bowl chances would increase dramatically. Bookmakers have already given Baltimore respectable odds, around plus 1,500 or even better, to win it all this year. But with Garrett added to the mix, those odds could tighten to plus 800 or even lower. The Ravens would become a serious contender in the AFC, especially in a postseason where pass rush dominance often decides the outcome of close games. Of course, this is all speculative for now, but the whispers are real, and the potential impact is enormous. The Ravens are always looking to upgrade, especially when it comes to their pass rush. Adding Garrett would be a statement, signaling that Baltimore is all in on chasing another Super Bowl trophy and that they're ready to make bold moves to get there. It's the kind of move that could shake up the NFL landscape and send shockwaves through the AFC North. So, Ravens fans, keep your eyes peeled. If this trade happens, it's going to be one of the biggest stories of the season. The Ravens are already a team to watch, but with Garrett joining the squad, they could become the team everyone fears in January. It's a fascinating storyline full of potential, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. Whether this deal materializes or not, one thing is for sure: Baltimore is always in the mix, and they're never afraid to make bold moves to chase that elusive Lombardi trophy. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Baltimore Ravens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Now, what do you think about all of this, Ravens Nation? Would you be hyped if Myles Garrett came to Baltimore? Can you imagine the chaos he'd cause lining up next to Roquan Smith? The AFC North would never be the same, and the Ravens' Super Bowl aspirations would get a serious boost. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think this trade is realistic? Would it be a game changer? Drop your comments below because your opinion really matters to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Baltimore Ravens news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and we're here to bring you every twist and turn, every big play, and every move that could redefine the future of the franchise. Thanks for riding with us, Ravens fans. Let's keep the passion alive and aim for that second Lombardi.